Then after Graham, Nathaniel walked down the red carpet and he was like, is it raining there? Like, I can't tell.
Oh, yes, he does.
He was with this woman that I assume was his friend, and you know, he was really goofy during the interviews, and yeah, he seemed to have a great time. He took a lot of pictures.
Long hair here. I was just, I love them. They're all so long.
And you know how he is, he posts a lot of selfies and all that, so that was exactly what he did. And after Nate, there was Chris, and he was joking around, of course, and he was joined by his wife, and they were a beautiful couple. He was, I don't know, he's just a very charming man. So it was nice to see him in real life because he's exactly like Tim, but not as jerk. So it was nice. From the corner of my eye, I could see that Izzy was talking to someone and taking a selfie. And then she was with Courtney, and there was this guy, and I just knew I had seen the guy somewhere, and I knew he was somehow related to Heartland, but at that point I could not remember his name. But then later it came to me. The guy was Jamie Paul Rock, who is executive producer. So they took a selfie, which was posted on Amber's Facebook page. I thought it was really nice because he was trying to like sneak up, and then of course people noticed him, and he was like, what? I was just here like really quiet, and then you turn around and you realize who I am.
Check.
Then after Chris, it was time for Sean's entrance, and he took his time. Like, he is an absolute gentleman. So whenever someone was asking for a selfie, he stopped and he like shook hands, and he just, you know, it took time for him to get to the point where we would take pictures and all that.
Ja sen poikakin on mukana. Näyttää ihan siltä.
He was with his wife and with his son, who looks exactly like him, but younger. Not that he's old, but you know, younger still. At one point they noticed Izzy, so they kept waving and making faces because, you know, they've seen each other before.
Minä karatsin.
And Sean was... he's Jack. Really, he is. Just younger. So it was fun to see him interact with everyone because he was Grandpa. And then later, well actually after him, Julia, who plays Katie, came up and everyone was like, "Aww, she was so cute." And she is so funny. Like whenever someone was asking her questions, she was like, "I don't know," or like cracking these lines, and it was really funny because she's so adorable. And then she's this like really smart girl. So anyway, Julia came up and Sean was still lingering there, so he came to pick her up and he kissed her cheek, and it was like one of those like perfect Jack Katie moments. I will post a picture of that right now. We thought the next one was gonna be the last one, which was Alicia, and she was beautiful. Like my sister was really jealous of her hair because her hair was perfect, and she just looked amazing. Much older than Georgie. She knew what to do on the red carpet. Like she did her poses and she looked absolutely amazing. We thought like, okay, so this is it, we can just go in. But then they brought up the sign and it said Jen Grant. Like I knew she was gonna perform there, but I didn't know that she would walk down the red carpet, but she did. She was the last one, and I actually didn't know what she looked like. Like I thought she was much older for some reason, but she was really young and really beautiful, and it was like a cherry on the top to have her as the last person. Then we were making our way inside, and I noticed Alicia was still there.
I'm gonna take one of you guys. 2, 3.
Excited to see it. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
So I had this like, okay, I'm gonna have to ask a selfie because she's here, she's taking these selfies with other people.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Like, this is my moment. Like, my brain just like stripped off all the nervousness. Then I just went to her and asked if we could take a picture together, and she said something like, yeah, sure. Like, she was really sweet. And my sister took the picture. I would have posted, but I I don't like how I look in the picture. I look like, because I was so happy. So I'm not gonna post that, but I'm gonna post other stuff from that moment. I don't remember much of that moment other than she smelled great. Like, that's all I can remember. Then as we were about to go inside, I saw this very handsome guy. I was speechless, like, I think you know who I'm talking about. And I went up to him and I was like, can we get a picture together? And he said, yeah, he was Spartan. Before the red carpet thing even happened, Gordon handed out these question cards for us because they were gonna do the Q&A inside, and they wanted the fans that were there to ask some questions as well. There was Facebook questions and Twitter questions and all that, but they wanted us to ask something too, and because I had questions in mind already, I knew what to ask. And I expected most of the questions to be for Amber or Grimm, so I thought I would ask from Michelle. I asked about like if she could see Lou doing something like she does with Homefront. And then that question was answered, and she said something like she's too busy, so maybe not. But I was just so happy because my question got answered. And then before we went in, we had to drop them into these boxes. And my sister was like, I don't know what to ask, so I'm not gonna ask anything. And I was like, hold on, I know what to ask. So I told her to ask from Chris if he ever improvises during scenes. And that question was also answered during the Q&A. So he said something like, oh, I don't know. I don't think I improvise or anything. And then Amber was like, no, you kind of do. Like, you keep us on our toes. And Michelle was like, oh yeah, definitely. She's right. He improvises during scenes. And you can't just like do the scene without totally focusing on Chris, because he will surprise you. So that was funny that they like joined the conversation, because he was like, I don't know, I don't think I do that. And then they were like, oh yeah, you do that. Anyway, then we walked inside. There were 7 chairs on the stage. They showed this like video about the Calgary International Film Festival, started to film it, and then there was like no cameras. So I had to take that down. And after that, this guy called Mike Morrison, who I know is friends with Michelle, came up, and he was the like interviewer of the event, and he explained what was gonna happen, and everyone was really impatient.
So just before I came up here, I got the news that this is the first time this cast has been together in front of an audience like you guys. So let's make sure we welcome them. Everyone, just big cheers.
We got really good seats, and you know, we were surrounded by our new friends, and yeah, the thing started. Here's a few videos from the event. Like, I took a lot of them, but then at the same time I didn't want to film everything because I wanted to just enjoy the moment. But it was really nice Q&A. Like, I think the questions were pretty original. of course, there were some of the same questions that we see a lot, but then there were a lot of original questions. And yeah, when I later talked to Gordon, he said, your questions, like, not just mine, but like everyone there, like, you had really good questions. Like, I was really glad you had those questions.
That's what I'm talking about. Now we're going to be doing something really special. If you want to let your friends and family at home know that this is going to be streamed on Facebook Live, so make sure to follow Heartland on CBC, Heartland on CBC on Facebook, and around the world people are going to be watching this. But they're at home watching it. You guys are here in Calgary, Alberta, with the cast of Heartland, so it's not been a second longer. Let's bring it. Big round of applause for Michelle. Up next, let's hear it for Chris Potter. Big shout out for Chris, everyone. There we go. Up next, Nathaniel Arcon. Welcome. I think I need to put my earplugs in. Everyone say hello to Graham Wardle. Up next, a friend of mine, Michelle Morgan. Yes, beautiful. Up next, Sean Johnson. Sean, everyone. So, Sean, everyone. All right. And of course, the star of Heartland, Emma Marshall. Let's give a round of applause to the cast of Heartland. So, cameras are out. Very exciting. Now, I'm sure you guys heard this. There's people here from around the world. So let's just do a little quick check here. Let's say, who's from Calgary? How about outside, like Alberta? Somewhere in Alberta. Somewhere in Canada. Outside of Canada. Did you guys come here for this? That's amazing.
One of my favorite moments from the Q&A was when they talked about auditioning for the show, and Chris came out. Like, everyone else was like really like telling the true story of how they auditioned for the show. It was Chris's turn, and he was like, well, I was this man with a dream, and I will post that video here because it was, you just have to witness it with your own eyes. I can't explain it well enough.
Well, picture this. I was a young girl from London, Ontario, and I received the script of my dreams. I squeezed into a tight, country-looking dress and hitchhiked to Toronto. Walked into the room where they all unanimously said, "Seriously?" Which I took to mean they were serious. I was crushed when I found out I didn't get the role of Amy. But I was used to rejection, you know, harsh business. A month later, they said, "Well, we have a cameo, let's make him feel good. Would you be willing to play a middle-aged, antagonistic man?" And I said, "Oh, typecast again." So out I went, shot my scene, and thank God I did that. Because 10 years later, I'm in the greatest place to be a showman.
But anyway, everyone was in stitches. Everyone was laughing. Like, Sean was crying because he was laughing so much, and he kept giggling and giggling even after Chris was done, and it was one of my favorite moments from the Q&A. And also when he, and I mean Chris, was talking about how amazing Alicia was, like how hard she works, and I just love that. Like, they really were like a family and really supportive of each other, and yeah, it was just one of the best times ever. Then after the Q&A, we got to watch the first episode of the season, and everyone was really excited, and like you've probably already seen it, it was amazing. It was really good. I loved it. I think it was one of the strongest premiere episodes ever, and it was great that I actually got to experience it like this. So it was just amazing. And you know, there was this moment before the credits roll where Amy is saying, "Is there two of them?"
Is that what I think it is? Is there two of them?
When they're watching this like ultrasound, and everyone was like, "Twins! They're having twins!" Like freaking out, and I was like, no, that's not what's happening here, because I already knew that they would have twin falls in the show, so I knew that the twin thing was about the falls. So, well, it kind of ruined the surprise for me, but at the same time, I don't know, I guess it spared me the like disappointment or something if I hadn't been like, "Oh my god, they're having twins." But anyway, that was like the biggest reaction, and you know, after the episode, everyone was like in a very good mood, and I think everyone really liked it. And the cast was still there, like they were not on stage, but they were like up on the balcony, and you could see them. It was really bizarre to be in the same room with them watching the episode, but at the same time it was just so perfect. After the episode, Jen Grant performed Dreamer, the theme song of the show, and it was pretty unique. Like, it was so great to hear it live, and it was very stripped down because she only had her guitar, and it was beautiful.
With faint taste of cigarettes, you ain't honey song. Ain't it wonderful feeling alright? So back for
that, everyone's just sort of left, or well, not everyone, but most of the people inside left, but we kind of stayed for a little while longer because we were not in a hurry, and we were having such a great time with these people, like we didn't want to go. Then Jen kept playing, and we were just sitting there enjoying playing, and I saw Sean standing really close by listening to her sing, and I knew, like with Alicia, I knew that this was my moment. Like if I was gonna talk to him, it was now or never, because I didn't know if I would ever get the same chance, so I took it. And I told my sister, like, Sean's there, like I'm gonna go there, are you coming with me? And she came with me, and Sean was just standing there and just chilling, and then we walked up to him, and he kind of kept looking at us like, what are you doing here? Like, who are you? But like in a friendly way. And went to him, and I was like, I'm sorry, I know you're enjoying this music, and I don't want to bother you, but I was just, you know, I think I said, I'm Soile from Finland, Izzy's friend. Like, I don't know why I said that. I guess I was trying to like ease the tension, like make him think I'm a friend, not some creepy person. And he was like, oh yeah, you're the Finland girl. Like, cause during the Q&A, everyone kept going like, what? You're from Finland? Like on the stage, because our questions were answered, but also in the audience, like you were like, are you really from Finland? Like, is this a thing? So anyway, he was like, oh yeah, you're the Finland girl. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And then I asked him if it would be okay if we took a picture together, and he was like, yeah, sure. Cause, you know, he takes selfies, and he's just, you know, like I said, he's very amazing guy, like very kind, very easy to approach. So I was just like pulling out the camera, and then I was like wondering like, oh, well, should my sister take a picture of me with him, and then she would be with him, and I would take a picture. But then before I could even turn around, Izzy was there, and she was like, yeah, I can take your picture. And I was like, where did you come from? But yeah, she was like, yeah, squeeze in together. And we just stood there, and I smiled like a fool, and because I was so happy, like this was, you know, Sean Johnston. Then we took a picture, and we were like, thank you so much, and have a good evening, and I hope you had a fun, and thank you. I kept thinking that it was interesting that before the trip, when someone asked me who I would like to meet, I said I would like to meet Sean, because it just seems like the easiest to approach because of his grandpa thing. So that came true. Like, I couldn't believe it. After that, we just stayed there for a while, and there was this like surprise thing. Like, it was not planned, but it was Sean singing with Jen. They did this duet, and everyone was like, yeah, like whoever was left there.
I can't believe that I am actually standing on stage with Jen Reynolds. I met Jen once before, and I got all googly about it.
Someone take your picture.
It never said you live high.
was a really nice way to end the evening. I was hanging out with Gordon and we talked about the show and, you know, everything related to it. And then I got to meet Scott, who's also one of the regulars on my blog, as you know. And I was there with Lynn, and we basically cornered him and we were like, okay, what's the deal with this Graham social thing? And he was like, I can't tell you, like I can't tell you what it is exactly. I can just tell you that I pretty much know that some people are not gonna like it and some people are really gonna like it. So he didn't tell us what it was exactly, but he said that it involved a website, and that was obviously Borden Without Borders, and he said that we would get better idea of it around episode 4. So I kind of knew to expect something, but I didn't know what to expect. After that we left. We were like the last ones out. We were just outside. Steve and his wife offered to walk us to our car because, you know, they were worried about us. We were in a strange city and it was late. And so we were outside, and I can't remember why we just lingered there, other than Lynn and her daughter got to see Sean because Sean was there. And so they got his autograph, so we stayed there a little bit longer. And then I talked to a few people from the crew. Like I saw Sean's son, like I recognized him, and then I realized he was standing next to the script supervisor, Wayne Pels. So I went up to him and we talked a little bit, because, you know, he follows me on Instagram and I follow him, and when he saw that I had been in like Louise and all that, he was like giving me these tips, like you gotta see these and these and these and these. So I went up to him and I thanked him about those tips. And anyway, we stayed there a little while. Some of the crew and cast were heading out to party. I heard something about doing karaoke, and yeah, after that we went to our car and then we went to home, and that was the end of the evening, and it was one of the best nights of my life. And I hope you can just sense that through my videos and pictures, because it was amazing. So that's it for this chapter, but please tune in next time, because in the next video I'm gonna take you to the studio and other very interesting places. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm gonna post many videos after this as well. So thanks.